In this video, we bring you 5 starter steps plus a bonus for West Coast Swing. What's up, everyone? It's Brian B.
And Miss Megan.
From West Coast Swing Online, and we are going to bring you 5, actually 6 starter step variations. Megan disagrees on whether the last version is a starter step or not, but we're going to work through it. So let's show them briefly. We will then break them down, and then we will discuss the kind of uses around them. And since this is a live video, please type your questions in on either Facebook and or YouTube, and Mr. Benjamin will feather them out to us. So here are our starter step options. We have the original one where we go triple to my left and then triple to my right. That's one option. We had another one where we go triple to my left and anchor step. Then we have the very current option, which is to sway for triple step and triple step. Then we have a little runaround option where we go a triple step and anchor step. There's another one. Then we have a rotating anchor going the other way where we go, let's go in the middle of the camera, where we go triple step, and we're ready to lead out into the pattern. And then the bonus, which Miss Megan does not agree, is an anchor step, is a starter step, and that is a rock and go, triple step with a rock and go. So that's a bonus. It's another thing you can do.
No, I just thought both of those were rock and goes.
No, but one of them doesn't actually go, Miss Megan. Boom, boom, I still got it.
The rotation argument with Ben all over
I
again.
still got it. Okay, so let's, I'm actually gonna do this back to the camera so you can see, we'll do this followers and leaders. So the original version of this starter step is a triple to my left, Megan's right, triple, and then we work our way back to the other side, triple step, right? So that's one option, triple and triple. Second option is the more common, or what I would say the more standard, where everything in West Coast Swing ends in an anchor. So we would triple to this direction, triple step, and then we would anchor away. So right off the bat, I'm going to put Megan on the spot and say, because I know this is confusing, what do you feel from leaders that makes it clear to show whether they're doing a triple and a triple or a triple and an anchor?
So, get connected, first of all.
That's our t-shirt. You can buy it in the
new
description
catchphrase.
below.
So if you are connected, first of all, like I said, all this connection back here, you're going to be able to feel your leader however much he's moving or she's moving back and forth. You can't tell a huge difference between a sway and a triple other than the momentum keeps going for a triple and not a sway. The sway is going to eventually come back. But I also use somewhat of a visual lead, or visual follow rather, so that I can just see a little bit of what's going on from the leader with the feet.
Yeah, so leaders, we have both those options, and we'll talk about why we would use them later. But anyways, those are the first two, the most standard, right, where we would go triple to the side and triple to the side, or we go triple step and anchor step. And now, with the advent of slower ballady music, that type of stuff, we have taken to just eliminating the darn triple step, working in our 2-beat increments. And so from the backside, you'll get a lot of this, 1, 2, 3, 4, right? This type of thing from behind, so you guys can see. We'd have like 1, 2, 3, 4. So you can almost think of that as a tap, step, and tap, step, or just weight the foot for 1 hold 2 and 3 hold 4, some version of that. Then we have, so that's the third one, we'll call that the sway. And then we have the runaround, which is a little bit like a left side pass, the triple and the anchor of a left side pass. We have our connected position, get connected, Miss Megan's t-shirt in the description below, where we just do a triple step and then we anchor step. Or we could keep that in closed position because that's a little bit more of a throw out. So if we make it a starter step, we'd go triple step and anchor step. Or from the other side, a triple step and anchor step. Keys for leading that as the leader, pretty standard stuff. If I rotate my left foot out of the way, I am allowing that path from Miss Megan where I go behind and probably slightly forward, and then I'd anchor step that away. If I did it from the other side, I have to start to back this foot out to give her a path or a slot, triple step, and then anchor in place. Miss Megan has.
All right, so followers, if you feel a momentum forward to go around the corner, For your starter step, it's going to feel somewhat like a left or right side pass. So you're just going to go triple step and then anchor step. You're going to want to cross in front. It's going to be way easier. So triple step and triple step.
Just like underarm turn footwork, the 3 and 4 of an underarm turn or a left side pass. Then we have our rotating anchor. So the rotating anchor, Megan feels like this is a little bit of a rock and go. It's a rock and still an anchor. So this one goes triple step and triple step. I like this one quite a bit. If we do it from this side, we have triple step and triple step. So let's actually break this down with my back to the camera first so you can kind of see what's going on. So we have the first triple step, and I'm going to work myself to that side, right? And I have to also be nice and close because I have to allow her to go away, replace, and then step to the opposite side of the slot. So we do this again. We'll do this a couple different angles because this is the trickiest one. We go triple step. So I've left Megan over to my right side. So we both rock away, triple step. Cool. If we do that with Miss Megan's footwork, you can narrate. Yeah.
Okay, so we're going to have a triple step. We're going to rock back, rock, replace, and then turn around. Let's do that again. So we have a triple step, rock back, replace, turn.
Bingo. So leaders, we have to, this is the trickiest one because we have to cultivate the ability on, if we counted this 1 and 2, 3 and 4, on the and of 3 and 4, we have to use our hands to maneuver the follower to the other side of the slot. So if we do it, I guess this way it might be a good way to see it. So 2 keys first. Number 1, on this first triple, I have to make sure that I almost increase the distance that I'm past her, right? Because I need this path to be free. That's number 1. Number 2, because we're going to rock away to initiate the change of positions in the slot, I'm going to collect myself towards her without taking Megan off of her foot, but I'm going to collect myself in close so that way I have something with my right arm to allow her to go back, rock, and replace. So that's number 1, create some space to leave a slot. Number 2, work yourself in close so that you've got something to rock away. Number 3, I have to be able to rotate with my right hand on triple step. I'm in close, triple, and now with this right hand on Megan's right foot, I have to maneuver her to the other side, get my foot ready, and then allow her to go back. So if we do that from the other side, let me take this hand out of it for a second. Triple step, I'm in nice and close. We rock, and now I use this right hand to switch around to flip her to the other side. Megan does her job of being connected. I'm connected the opposite direction. And then from here, we can do whatever pattern we want. Any thoughts on the rotating anchor step?
Just in general, followers, you really need to stay connected.
Get connected. You don't say.
Because no matter what direction the leader's telling you to go, so for this rock back, if the connection goes away, that's the direction you're going because you want to stay stuck to that connection. And then when he's turning you, or when they are turning you. I'm
a boy, you can say it. It's okay.
Yes, I say he because I'm looking at Brian. But as the leader is turning you, you want to stay connected as well because that's also telling you what direction you're going.
Bingo. So that is the 5 starter steps. Do we have any questions this far?
Kind of. As a beginner follower, some people are seeing or having trouble finding the application to them and how this will actually apply to them as a beginner.
Yeah, so as a beginner, someone said in the comments, as a beginner, how would you find an application for these starter steps, right? And very good question. The first thing I would say, if you are a follower, you just need to know that they exist. And that's why I like these lists of 5 or 6 or 3 versions of something, because it's not that you're going to have to know all of them, but it's good to know that they exist, right? If you've only ever been taught one version of a starter step and someone leads a completely valid one, and you just stick tight to your footwork because no one ever told you that there's other valid ways to do it, that's number 1. That's from the follower standpoint. So just to know that they are possible. So as you dance with different leaders and one of them tosses one out, hey, you might miss it the first time, but you're like, hey, wait a minute, I know that there's different versions of this. From the leader standpoint, it's purely, we get bored, right? Now the starter step isn't something we're stuck dancing over and over and over, but it's quite nice to have a different variation of a starter step, just like a pattern. Someone asked, why would we dance a rock and go? Because why would we dance a rock and go? And I said, well, why would you? Yeah, because you can. Why would you dance anything more than a sugar push? Because after a while it gets boring. So you learn a side pass, and then it gets boring. You learn a whip, and you keep going until you've got a set of patterns that feels comfortable for you.
Well, and the starter step is also something that is a little nicer or a little different to start the dance than just, hi, you're way over there.
Yep.
Would you, if you had to pick one or two that are the most commonly utilized, what would they be?
The two most common utilized, another great question. What are the most common utilized? The most common would be at least the standard triple and anchor, at least nowadays. And the other one you're gonna see a lot of is like that little sway, right? Because you'll actually get this for quite a bit, and maybe even use this sway to get a feeling of rhythm with your partner. So if you just had those are your core for sure. So if you're new, just be aware that, and the reason why I kind of teach the triple is that's kind of where it came from back in East Coast swing days. We had this triple and this triple. And so Megan's connected as she falls over. I look over.
All the time.
All the time. So just to be aware that those exist, but then that the sway, which is in the 2-beat increment, right? So if Miss Megan, can you do triple and anchor for me? So I'm gonna sway, she's gonna triple. I go triple step, and we've landed, if you can see me, on the same foot. So as long as we're working in 2-beat increments, all of those will work.
So we did a run around to the left. Is it possible to do a run around to the right?
Everything's possible when your man smells like Old Spice. It's from a commercial, my favorite commercial.
If so, how do you keep the follower connected?
Could you even do this? This is like the second time someone's done this to me, where I know it's possible, but it's just not probable. So we could rotate this way. Triple step. Ooh, that'd be weird.
Ooh, I don't like that.
Probably not, because here's the deal.
You
Megan's,
can, but...
my left foot, if we look at it from behind, right? My left foot is free, so as I step back, rotations that direction make sense, rotations this direction make sense. I suppose you could drive the follower back. If you're connected, we could go like back around an anchor step. That would be very, very, very uncommon. That would be very, very, very uncommon, because the initiation of West Coast swing comes from some sort of connection forward and back, right? And while there do exist what we call scrolling patterns where the anchor will float, it is very uncommon for me to send Megan back from that position. It's much more common for me to bring her forward from that position, or in the case of an anchor step, to take her to the side from that position. But it would be very uncommon to work through that space.
On the rock and turn, if you only have the right hand on her back, how does she know to step backwards?
Oh, great question. On the rotating anchor step, we actually call this the rotating anchor step, where we go triple step, rock and back. So in any kind of leading or following scenario, so this is true whether you're a leader or a follower, if I have two connection points to my partner, this hand and the one in her back, the most important one is always the one physically closest to your partner's center, right? So this hand is the important one. This has all these joints that can fail in the connection, right? This one is just Megan's back. If she's connected, so this is the one that I can tell her where she's going. So now I lost the question. How would you know to step back on the rotation? So like Megan said, if she's always connected to this hand, right? If she's always connected, I'm gonna do it this way. If she's connected to this hand and we go triple step, she's still working herself back into this. The reason why she would anchor here is I would allow her with my connection to anchor, right? If I exaggerated this, I would go triple step and I would allow her to go back. That's what would be happening, right? When we're connected here, it's easier to allow that to go back on the anchor because we've got this whole arm to breathe out through all these joints. Same thing happens here. That's why we talked earlier about kind of scrunching a little close on our triple step, right? So I have some room to let that arm go back. Now, how does that apply to the rotating anchor? It's the exact same concept. You just have a lot of fun stuff to do before it. So we get close, triple step. Megan's still connected. She's still thinking, anchoring. Where do we anchor, followers? Away from your partner. So now she goes away. I pull her back forward. And then as we're rotating, away is in this direction, right? And even though my body's here, if you look at the angle of my hand, it's at this angle. So she's still following this away. There is your answer. Megan had it all on her t-shirt. Get connected. Which puts the onus on the leaders. So leaders, it's really complex what you have to do in that pattern. So as you're going triple step, we're in close. I rock and I rotate and let Megan go back. It would be helpful to have two hands if your follower is newer or less secure. Two hands would help. If they're connected, the right hand is the one you actually need. It would actually be really hard off this hand. It's possible, but you could do it off this hand. Next question. So, two more things. Let's cover my bonus where I can use the rock and go.
Are we at the bonus?
We're at the bonus. So the bonus, or your sixth version of a starter step, would go starter step, use a rock and go, off to the races, anchor step. If you don't know what a rock and go is, go put in West Coast Swing Online Rock and Go in YouTube and you'll find the ultimate guide to rock and goes. We'll discuss every iteration of it. So this one I go triple step. Now, instead of letting her anchor, we're gonna go anchor step. And I'm gonna step her forward out of the anchor, inside turn. So again, for the beginners in the room, a rock and go is not a basic pattern, but I think it is a moving to intermediate concept that you should be aware exists. And so the same way that you can play with patterns using a rock and go, you can play with your anchor step using a rock and go. And the final couple thoughts, and the people were asked earlier about like, why would I need to know these, or how are these relevant for beginners? I think right here, this is and I'm doing this from Megan behind the camera, this first contact in a dance, I am learning a lot. I can feel whether my partner's connected here, I can figure whether she's here, I can feel tension. As I do 1, 2, 3, 4, I can get a sense of rhythm, I can get a sense of how my partner's moving with me. What are you assessing in the anchor step?
These same things. So again, when you're in this position and I try to connect and there's nothing there, I'm learning a whole lot. So this is gonna be my main form of connection. Even if they're not connected here, I can create my own connection off of this better than I can off of this if that's not there. So then I'm learning, again, whether they are on beat or not, in the same way that the leader would be trying to tell if the followers have some rhythm or whatever else that they are looking for, connection-wise or...
So it's good, it's standard, I would say it's standard operating procedure to hang out in that closed position for a little bit. The triple would sort of signify we've started, for sure, right? We wouldn't use triples to the side to start to sense our partners. Some people will, don't do that as much, unless it's a very slow song, general rule. But you might use the sway, right, to get a sense of the rhythm in your partner and how you're feeling the music, right? And then you can initiate the triple into whatever
Ben,
you
did we talk
want.
about this in something to where you don't want to do this sway for too long? In one of our past videos this week, we talked about trying to find the beat. Oh, it was on our Your Questions Answered
Bingo.
video. Just as you're trying to, people will try to use this sway to find the beat in the music. After about, 6 to 8 sways, maybe just go. You might not be finding it.
Look at you, Miss Megan. Any final questions? Good deal. There are your 5 starter step variations plus 1 with your bonus. If you guys have not yet been to the site, do 2 things for me. Go to the site, westcoastswingonline.com, enter your email address. You'll get 50 free videos with a free membership to our site. You'll be in our email list where we share really cool things. Number 2, make sure you give a thumbs up and a like to this video. I guess the thumbs up and the like are the same thing. And subscribe to the channel. And a quick update, if you guys are watching us live, this is likely our last full week of live classes. If all goes well, we will be able to open up soon after May 25th for private lessons. So we're going to discuss with the team. We will try to put some videos out, but it will not be at the same pace that we're going. I've got a couple different ideas of things. So yeah, Ben's sad back there, but we're opening up here in Kentucky, so that's good news.
So we're happy.
Yeah, good deal. So we'll see you guys again in about 10 minutes for the Advanced West Coast Swing class.